What's going on, guys? So today we got some Camaro action up on the dyno today. 2018 Camaro ZL1. So this customer I'd worked with at the previous shop that I used to work for, and him and his guy that he works with did a couple bolt-ons on it. So you can see it's got a Rotofab 5-inch cold air. It's got a 103 millimeter throttle body. It's got long tube headers on it, and it's got a fuel booster he put on, and it's got a flex fuel sensor. So basically we're just doing a tune-up on it. We're gonna do a flex fuel tune. I'm gonna run, I've already run it on pump gas, so you can take a look at that. So that's the 91 octane tune that I dialed up last night. So this morning I'm gonna put some E85 in it, and I think we'll probably get the mixture 40 to 50%, something like that, with the, because again, stock cam. This car does have stock pulleys, but we always run into, when we're adding ethanol onto a stock cam car with bolt-ons like this, we'll run into the high pressure fuel pump driving the direct injectors. We'll hit the limit of that thing. So usually we can get to 40, maybe 50% is usually where you end up before that pump just cannot keep up anymore with the fuel demand. Even though you can feed it all you want with the low pressure pump in the tank and boosting that thing. I think he added that fuel booster just for future mods, because I think he's going to do a cam and some other stuff in the future, maybe a supercharger. So right at 600 wheel, I'm happy with that on 91 octane for stock pulley setup, which is, again, just some external bolt-ons. So I'm going to dump some E85 in the tank. I'm going to work the tune up. So I'm going to probably pretty much add maybe 2 gallons at a time. It's got just under a half tank. I'll go probably 2 gallons at a time until I get that mixture up, again, in the 40s or so, and maybe go a little further until I kind of reach that limit of the pump, you know, looking at my data logs. So I'm going to set the camera down and do some tuning, and then we'll do a run. I'll film the last run, and we'll see a comparison between this run and some ethanol in the tank. Just did our final pull on this thing. So we got some E85 in the tank. We got the mixture of E to gasoline up just over 50%. So a little bit more than I wanted. I put a little bit, almost too much E in it, but we're still sitting good on the tuning. So again, red line is 91 octane. That was my final on 91. And the blue line is the E50 tune. So obviously we picked up almost 50 at the wheels for horsepower, and just shy of 40 foot-pounds of torque. So typical of these LT4s, they make big torque down low. You can see the big torque peak down at 3,200 RPM, big flat torque peak, and you know, kind of carries that out to the top. Again, this engine is stock other than these external bolt-ons, the intake, the throttle body, and the headers. So I don't rev them super high. I'm not revving these things over 7,000 RPM. I like to keep them right at 6,500. The displacement on demand lifters don't like a lot of RPM over time, because you will break them. So on a LT4 engine, I'll keep the rev limiters stock just for longevity. And you can see the power is pretty much flattening out anyway up at that 6,500. So I just leave them stock shift points right at 6,450. Yeah, and this car in this condition with a sticky tire on, I'll be a 10-second capable car. So dyno's looking really good. And videos in the past that I've done on my channel, with the other shop I was tuning at, I'd always kind of go over the data log, and you guys saw the number. But some guys I know maybe get into this a little bit, and this is HP Tuner's data logging software. This is what I use on these Camaros. Very powerful. We can do a lot of stuff with this. And so up here we got throttle, boost. These 2 lines are throttle. This white line is boost. Red line's RPM. These are just some torque stuff I data log for tuning. Down here is the air mass, which is basically the load of the air. You know, how much load, how much volume, how much efficiency the engine has. Mass airflow sensor. This blue line is spark. This red line is the knock sensors. You can see there's a little bit of knock, but that's on purpose. I have some timing being pulled of a couple cylinders. There's a individual cylinder timing pull tables in HP Tuner's software that I use, and when you use that table and pull timing out of it, it will pick up as register as knock. And so this is actually not knock that the knock sensors are picking up. It's basically preset knock, or a preset amount of timing I'm pulling, and the scanner here, the data logger, picks it up as knock. So air fuel ratio is this yellow line, and so you can see, so we can kind of go, I can kind of scroll through this, and you can see air fuel's nice and flat. These LT4s on ethanol like this, when they were bolt-on setup, they like that low 0.8, which is like low 12s, 12.0 to 12.2 to 1. That's what they like. That's what they make the most power when they're bolt-ons like this. Boost is, if we go back up to the top there, boost is about 9.5 pounds-ish, just off the top of my head with that math, 170 kPa. So obviously you can see E85 timing. I'm leaning on it with some timing here. And the 91 octane timing, I was like, yeah, 21, kind of, you know, like 15 down here, ramping to 21. So obviously I think I'm about 5 degrees more timing on E85. That's where most of that power is coming from. A little bit from the cooling effect of E85, but most of it's from being able to add timing, because the E85 adds so much octane. So everything's looking really good. We are at 50. It's showing 53%. I'm right at the limit of my high pressure fuel pump, like I had said, and that's what we're running to first on these things. My high pressure fuel is starting to waver just a smidge, so I'm going to tell this customer, keep it at 50% and no more. And he was okay with that. We discussed that before the tune. I had told him you will not be able to run fully 85 on this car. So he's got a Banks gauge up here, and he's going to be able to blend it and mix it. And I'm just going to tell him 50% on the E85 on the E content max, and that's kind of what I told him before, that maybe 40 or 50% is where we're going to end up. So everything's looking really nice on this. I'm going to take this thing out on the street, do some street driving, and make sure all the drivability stuff is squared away on the E-Tune. So that'll do it for this car on the dyno. And check out our other videos on our YouTube channel. Check out our social media, Instagram, Facebook, stuff like that. We always got all sorts of exciting stuff going on at the shop here. And we got lots more builds coming down the line. A lot of Fords, obviously, but we got some other Dodge stuff and some other Chevy stuff coming down the line too. So check back in the channel for more good content here on the dyno. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll talk to you later.